in the Navy. Oh, whoa. Back up, Ray. I got to tell you this one first. 16 years old, I got a letter from the Olympic team inviting me to the Olympics. I am the youngest boxer in the history of the Olympics to be invited to the Olympics at 16 years old. Still a record. I'm proud of that. You can clap. He's got skills. So, at 18, I joined the Navy because I got to get off these streets. I told my mother, who's selfish, who wants to keep her son at home, I said, Mom, if I stay here, I'm going to get in some real bad trouble. Because you're talking to someone who is highly disciplined, who all he wants to do is learn this thing to the fullest and just live like that. I just want to be happy. I want to meet people. I want to smile. I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to be bothered by all the stresses that have to come with this secular, selfish way of life. This man is my model. This is my model. I want to follow this. And I want people to be just like me. I don't have a model. My grandfather was my model. Anybody here grandfather? All right. I have 4 grandchildren. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there you go. I have 4 grandchildren. You know what I'm talking about. I want a model. My grandfather was my model. My grandfather would take an apple, he'd pull his pocket knife out, and he'd peel his apple, and he'd be talking. The Bible was always close by, and he'd peel this apple, and he'd cut me a piece of it, and he'd give it to me. And it was like a treasure. I'd put it in my mouth, and I'd bite it, and I'd be looking at him, looking right at his lips, because I know he's about to say something just totally prophetic. I'm like, wow, go ahead, say it, say it. And he would just say something, just say something. And he said, this ever happened to you? I'm like, yeah, that happened to me, or I saw it on TV. And he'd say, let me show you how this works. And he would just talk to me and mentor me and teach me. And all I want to do is be like him and like Jesus Christ. Is that multiplication? Yeah, that's multiplication. I'm going to challenge you by the time I finish here is to think about those 3 words constantly from here to eternity. And every time we meet, I'm going to remind you because I'm recording your faces. We're going to model. We're going to mentor. And then we're going to multiply. We're going to be fruitful. So I joined the Navy. Immediately when I get to boot camp, my drill instructor puts me in charge. I'm like, okay, he must know something I don't know, but okay. So I'm in charge. Immediately after boot camp, I go to A school. Immediately I'm in charge. Okay. As soon as I get out of A school and go to my first duty stations, I was there about 6 months, and I'm running the night shift. I'm 19 years old. I have 12 people working for me, and we're working on 9 $100 million airplanes. My mother is so excited and proud of me, like, boy, you're moving up already. Of course I am. All I'm doing is following these principles and this teaching that came out of this book that we know as the Bible. As that moves on, I get the opportunity to go train recruits for the first time. I get to Recruit Training Command, Great Lakes, not far away. If you go down there, you see all these plaques on the wall that says Ray Lilly, Ray Lilly, Ray Lilly, Ray Lilly. All I did was follow these principles. I want to mentor people. That's what I want to do. I want to be a model. I want to be an example. People are looking for an example just like me. They know they got to be just like me. I'm no different than anybody else. So they got to be like me. I want to be a part of this mentoring thing. So we move on. I get to Great Lakes, and they say, we have this special thing. If you can train to be the best of the best, we will put you in the Hall of Fame. Well, what do you have to do? Your entire division has to perform at almost 100%. So 97%. Everybody has to get 97% on their academics, on their physical fitness, on their appearance, and the appearance of their compartment. 97%. Like, I can do that. Of course, everybody laughs. I can do that. My 3rd division was designated Hall of Fame. I'm the youngest company commander there. 21 years old. I am the youngest. They said, this is impossible. Nobody can do this. 2 divisions later, I do it again. The next division after that, I do it again. I trained about 14 divisions, and I transferred out. Where do you think I went? Back to Japan. This is home for me. This is refuge. And I learn some more. I train some more. I teach some more. Years go by. I come back to Great Lakes again. No opportunity. If this Hall of Fame things exist, no one is touching it. It's a standard that is unattainable. So everybody thinks. I get out of school, and I said, I can do that. To make a long story short, Before long, I did this so many times and made it to the Hall of Fame. The executive officer calls me to her office, and she says, I really appreciate how you share all of your information and knowledge with people, because I'm training all my peers, not competing with them, but training them. She says to me, how do you do this? What is your secret? I said, it's not a secret. I just follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. She sits back in her chair, and she's like, wow. We talk a little bit, and I leave. Proud. I walk out of there excited. Like I told her. She expected me to tell her oh, I read these books, I got this from there. No, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. A year later, the commanding officer calls me to her office. She says, you've got X amount of awards, you'd have made a couple of videos for us. I just want to personally thank you for what you do. They don't normally call you up for something like this. I'm thinking, I didn't do anything wrong. Why does she want to see me? Same thing. She says, how do you do what you do? And I really, first of all, appreciate it. I said, ma'am, it's the Bible. It's all in the Bible. I just read it, I study it, and I put it into effect. She says, I really want to thank you for what you're doing. I hope I'm not boring you with talking about something that has enhanced my life beyond imagination. It gave me a model. It gave me a mentor. Actually, it gave me a ton of mentors. Because the people that I was around in the Christian community and the Christian family were really, really saints. They didn't play. They weren't dating God. They weren't dating these principles. They weren't engaged to these principles. They were married to them. They were married to them. They were connected, like when God told Adam to lay down. I'm bringing this home now. God said, Adam, you lay down and go to sleep. And what did he do? He plucked out a rib, and he modeled his partner. Woke Adam up. Wake up, knucklehead. Give this a name. I'm going to call that woman, because she is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Are they connected? So if they're connected, and they get together, and they make a child, is that more of a connection? Most definitely. We get together with our partner, and we make a connection, and we make a child, and we give it a name, and it needs to become a disciple so we can multiply. Under my name, Ray, being named ruler and king, I have to multiply. My children have no choice. My grandchildren have no choice. You represent me. You have to be a part of this multiplication table. Have to be. Not can you choose to be. You have to be. And that's what the Bible says. I don't know, it was clear to me. If you're going to follow me, you need to follow me wholeheartedly. Isn't that how he talked about his disciples? Isn't that how Jesus talked about his disciples? I want all of you. I don't want just part of you. You're going to follow me, and you're not going to follow me until we finish, because I have a job for you to do. My Father sent me here, and you have a job for you to do. And that's how our sons and our daughters should look at us. My daddy said, and I need to do. That's a hard job in some cases, because some of our children are very, very rebellious. Some of our wives are pretty real rebellious. And we know. Come on, men. We know how rebellious we can be, right? I'm not doing that. I'm going over here and watch this game. I'm going out with my buddies. You take care of that. And it's easy for us to do, because we're kings. Is anybody else in here king? Raise your hand. I mean,